So for the first time in 11 years, we have all 4 English clubs through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Nigel, what does that say about the strength of the Premier League? Does it say anything? Are we getting a bit above ourselves? Or does it say...
Well, it's saying we're impressive this season. To get 4 teams through is very, very impressive. And I've got a strong feeling that one of them is going to win it as well.
So is that a reflection that the standard of the Premier League has gone up, in your opinion? Yes.
Definitely. I mean, we had a little period, didn't we, where we were dominating it, and then we've dropped away, and now I think it's if we were to get 3 teams through next season and maybe 2 or 3 the following season, then I think you'd say the Premier League's a real powerhouse again. But for this season, the Premier League is looking dominant.
I'd like your opinion on this as well. I'll come to you first, Gus. The fact that when the draw happens tomorrow, which will be live on Sky Sports News, our colleagues there will be covering it. Do you think the fact that both the semi-final and quarter-final draws are being done tomorrow, both at the same time, will have any sort of effect?
Well, depending on... Yes. Yes. I mean, we were talking before. You pick. You prefer Man United, Man City? Or you prefer Man United, Liverpool? Or you prefer Liverpool? I mean, it's incredible what it can happen. And if that happened now between 2 of those teams, and then the semi-final, they're going to play against one or the other, it has to affect you. You know, you're playing...
Would you rather not know who you're playing?
I would prefer not to. I think it's natural. You play now and you get through, and it's coming another draw. Tomorrow, no? Tomorrow, everybody's going to be watching.
I would rather than do this quarter-final draw, play those games, yes. Semi-final draw. But what it does do is it gets all the supporters talking and excited about... Because as Gus was saying, as if you get Man City, Man United...
Now.
And then...
The winner...
The winner
plays the winner of Liverpool, Tottenham.
Or Liverpool, Barcelona or something. And then, you know, it's just like everyone's... You can just imagine what it's going to be like on social media tomorrow.
OK. I think it's a given that the English clubs would like to avoid each other, yes?
Yes. That would be amazing, by the way. If it's 4 games, the 4 games that they're going to play now,
unless the balls
they miss each other, it's fantastic.
Who would you not want there? Of the non-English clubs, who would you not want to face? Top of the list, Barcelona.
Barcelona, pedigree.
Barcelona and Juventus, no.
Yeah.
If you can, I think everybody would like to play Porto and Ajax. Even if Ajax was impressive.
Yeah.
Really?
Against Real Madrid. Bad Real Madrid, but it was impressive. They were like, you know, when you have nothing to lose? They went there, they play with freedom.
But they'll be the same again in the next round. They're a young side, nothing to lose. They've had their moment.
But what we don't know is how nervous they're now going to become, because all of a sudden the expectation on Ajax has gone a lot higher, because everyone was
before they were not expecting them to get through.
To get knocked out. Yeah. They were so impressive. Now people are going to be looking and saying, oh, that's going to be a tricky game now against Ajax. So is that going to affect them?
Tell me as well, do you agree with the bookmakers when we look at the odds for the quarter-finals to become outright winners of the trophy? They've gone with Manchester City as favourites, ahead of Barcelona.
But I think they look too much about form, or these games in the Champions League.
Would you have City as favourites ahead of Barcelona?
Well, they shouldn't, really. I'm not saying they are not impressive, what they've done the other day, but I think Barcelona or Juventus, that they've been there, no, Madrid is not there.
But that's going to change if one of those teams gets a tough draw.
Yes, that's now.
That's right. Now, at this moment in time. So.
Yeah, I mean, if City and Barcelona draw each other, for instance.
It's incredible, Tottenham, eh? We were talking before of...
It's not so much... This isn't necessarily about gambling. This is about experts' opinion as to who they think has the greatest chance of winning this tournament.
I think Pep is an expert, and Pep Guardiola said that they have no chance. They're the teenagers.
The teenagers. Do you agree with that, though? I mean, the fact that they've got Manchester United ahead of Tottenham, do you agree with that?
I think they're just thinking about what happened in the last 2 months. That's why they put Man City first.
Maybe a little bit of history as well. But as I just said to you, I think tomorrow, though... And when you look at it, those odds for the first 3 or 4 teams are they're not massively different, are they? So
I would say if Tottenham gets a good draw, Porto, but they can beat anyone, but if they get a good draw, and you go into the semi-final, then you're there, eh? Then you are...
You know I can't discuss that.
I know you can. So it's not participating now. Okay, me. But because sometimes we forget that we're thinking more about the others because of the teams that they've been in there. But we forget that Spurs is there and he's been playing in Europe impressively. So be careful.
Under the radar. Okay, let's assess then. Let's assess the claims of the four. Liverpool. That victory last night, and let's be honest, their away form in the Champions League has been awful this season. So to go to Bayern, who are one of the powerhouses of Europe, OK, they might not be at the top of their game right now, but to turn in that sort of performance, what will that give them going into the next round, whoever they draw?
Just belief. It was an incredible performance. I was watching that game, and they just looked so secure. Yeah, Bayern had a fair bit of possession early on, but didn't really create anything. I think that's what... People are talking about Liverpool, about how many goals they're scoring, but the turnaround for me, what has been impressive, is their defensive displays.
The solidarity there, the security.
With Van Dijk coming in. I mean, he just looks like a Rolls Royce of a player, but the other players fitting in and gelling around him. Very, very impressive for me.
I think it was the Liverpool of the beginning of the season. The one that started telling everybody, we're going to play for the Premier League. You know, when they were winning and they were impressive, they were pressing, they were going, creating chances, being really an impressive team. That maybe in the last 2 months in the Premier League, it's been difficult because it's difficult to maintain that level. But it was that team. And that means that they are back to their best now for the end of the season?
It almost looked to me as if they had a little look at what Bayern had to throw at them and realised they weren't at their very, very best. And then they just stepped up another gear. I mean, Mane's goal was
superb.
Sensational.
Falls nicely for them as well, because those games will be played on the 9th or the 10th, the Tuesday or the Wednesday. Liverpool actually play Saints away on the Friday night. That's perfect for them, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And we always talk about the Premier League not helping our clubs for the fixture list. So that would be a perfect scenario.
What
would it add to the mix right now if they drew City?
That was the first shout from Nigel. Nigel said that. Can you imagine now they play for the Premier League and they need to play?
Well, they saw them off in the semis last year, didn't they?
Yeah, so, sure.
Yeah, I mean...
I think for football it's great. I mean, for football, it cannot be better. You're playing for the Premier League and then you need to get...
Yeah, but I think even better if you got Man City and Liverpool going for the title and then Champions League final. Man City, Liverpool.
I think if they avoid maximum one between the two, it can happen like that year, the semi-finals, there were the 3 Spanish teams.
Yes.
Barcelona, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. And then they went to the final, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. And that's a matter of missing each other. It's a matter of one of those balls. I don't know if they are cold or hot. I don't know.
Sticky or not.
Is there also, do you also think there's a similarity? I mean, Liverpool got to the final last year as well. Is there a similarity in this nigh on 30-year wait for Liverpool to win the title and Jurgen Klopp's recent record in cup finals? He's lost the last 6. Rather than feel that, oh, it just doesn't happen, you actually feel, well, he's due one because he's been charged with some very good clubs. Different circumstances, the reason it didn't happen for them last year against Madrid. But that wouldn't necessarily worry you, would it?
No, I mean, we always look at stats and runs with teams and, you know, is it going to affect them? Does it play on their mind? The next final they get to, they don't win it. Or is it, like you've just said, well, if we keep getting there, we have to win one soon. So I think I'd like to be, if I was a Liverpool supporter at this moment in time or a player, I'd be thinking, let's get there. We've got to win eventually.
I'm gonna defend that coach. He doesn't play, eh? He looks like he lost all the finals. And when they win, he's the number 9 who's got the 2 goals.
Yeah, but that's management. You should know that.
I know that.
Right, Manchester City. Are they the bookies' favourites because they have the best equipped squad? Simple as. Not only strength in depth, but real world-class quality in every single position.
I think the difference between this Man City and the one 3 or 4 years ago that they couldn't get through the first group is that they went through last year, they got better, they got that experience, they got players that they are in an impressive moment, you know, like players that maybe 5, 6 years ago you wouldn't put him at that level, Sterling, for example. And I think that they give him, I think they got a chance this year, even if Pep's try to take the pressure away.
They've got game changers. So that's what makes them very, very dangerous. If you've got 4 or 5, 6 game changers in your team, if one's not performing very well, bring another one off the bench, change the system slightly, put another one on. I just think that they've been hugely impressive this season, and it's great testament really to Liverpool that they're right there with them.
Even though it's never been done, do you think the talk of the quad is fanciful? Given that team and that squad? I
think they will be dreaming it, whether it's possible to do it or not.
It's difficult.
It
would be incredible. It would be once.
Well,
it can't happen.
I don't think it's
a treble. Obviously, they've got one in the bag.
Yeah, it's not the pressure. I think it's the keep pushing yourself and lifting yourself up for the biggest occasion, and then you've got to have that little bit of a dip, and then you push again and push again. I think it's going to be very difficult.
I think, you know, yeah, you say one is already there, so it's 3 to go.
Never say never, but it's going to be hard.
What is true is that they got a great chance of winning another trophy, minimum, if not 3, and that put us in a great position.
Manchester United, whoever they draw is going to be interesting because they've progressed so much under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and because of the stature of the club, they'll go into the next round probably not seen as underdogs. I mean, obviously depending who they draw, but having done what they did in Paris, the first team ever to turn it round.
I think it was great because, yeah, we were thinking that they were not ready to do that, you know, because they were doing so well and they lost at home, you know, 2-0 against Paris Saint-Germain, and it was, okay, now it's over, it's not going to be the dream that winning. And they went there, they started well, they scored the first goal, they got the confidence, somehow they got that penalty at the end. It happened now with the VAR.
Yeah, definite pen, wasn't it? It was a definite penalty.
Yeah. If a typical coach, no, it's a typical coach that when it's for you, it's definitely a penalty. When you're on the other side, no, never. I will never get that. But I think that they're enjoying themselves now and they're feeling that they can do something extra.
They are building momentum, a little bit like Arsenal. The celebrations of the players. Yeah. After the game, I think they knew what that meant to them. Keep that progression going, keep that momentum going, particularly after the Arsenal loss. They've been I was
going to ask you about that. How much, when you've been on a run like that, how much does that burst the balloon?
Do you know what?
The loss and possibly the manner of it as well, Nigel.
Interesting to say what Gus thinks here. I always think when you've been on a terrific run, once you lose your first game, it's important to make sure you win the next game, not draw or lose it, because I think you get a little bit of doubt when you lose, and then if you don't pick up the win straight after that, there's a little bit more doubt, and a little bit more doubt. So I think it's important.
So against Wolves in the FA Cup this weekend, could have a big say in both their league and their Champions League.
Yes, because you just want to keep that. You want to keep that momentum rolling.
No doubt.
Will they feel in the Champions League as well? Will they feel obviously not in an arrogant fashion, but almost invincible, having achieved what they did?
I think they will feel that there's a possibility there. I don't think they were feeling a month ago. And probably after Paris Saint-Germain, they were thinking, okay, no, this year is not going to happen. But now, that momentum, that confidence, the way that they're turning around, first time in the history?
Ever. It's never been done before.
I mean, that's impressive. And so now they're going to say, bring anyone. Bring Man City. Bring Man City in the next round. And they're going to fancy themselves because there are many players that maybe they were not the best, and we can talk about 5 or 6, that now they're feeling that confidence.
Talk about one. Go on then. Tell me one player who, for you, is key to them.
Well, with any doubt, we can talk about Pogba, because he's a Pogba before and after. Now, we can blame wherever we like, the coach, not the coach. We can go into details, but at the end of the day, the one is on the pitch is the player. That's my opinion. Okay, I'm not playing better with you because you are nice. I'm not with you because
you're not nice.
I'm not nice yet.
Okay, it's simple to say, but then it depends on your character. But Lukaku was very, very much supported by Mourinho, even playing him when he was not well. But now he looks a different player in the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's like if he found a place in the team to do what he has to do, which is scoring goals.
But is he the most important player there?
No.
Who is?
Well, I think he's Pogba. It should be Pogba. It should be Pogba.
Why?
Because of the price, because of how much you put into him. Everybody got that price. Gareth Bale is suffering at Real Madrid because they didn't pay 10 million. They're still talking about the 89 million. And that's what they're expecting week in, week out. And Pogba, it was a massive investment. Massive.
Well, I just think Pogba is so powerful. And also, under Ollie, he's been given a bit of a free role on that sort of left-hand side. And he sort of breaks in. And he's when he's on top form, I mean, I was impressed when I watched him at Arsenal in the Cup and the League game. He's so powerful with the ball.
We don't know how many goals he scored, Nigel. It's incredible the quantity of goals he scored this season.
Yes.
That we don't talk enough. He looks like he's normal. He's Pogba.
Yeah, it's way ahead of his normal.
It's way ahead of his normal. He never scored more than 10.
He must make sure, if he's going to drive that Manchester United team forward, that he's not going to get frustrated. I think he has to keep that real focus on the game itself. I think occasionally whether he gets agitated with himself, whether he's trying to push himself up to the next level if it's not quite happening.
Will that come in the next stage of his maturity, though? Is that game management? Is that?
Well, if they're going to win the Champions League,
they need him.
They need him, but they're going to need all their big players.
What do we make of Tottenham right now?
Well, I think it's a big question for Mauricio Pochettino. You know, there's been so many things, the trophies, no trophies, top 4, not top 4. You know, now the top 4 has become a problem. Because when it looked very easy 3 weeks ago, now you look over your shoulder and they're all coming behind you. Does he really have a great opportunity of winning the Champions League? You know, we're talking about trophies. That is the biggest, no? People can say the Premier League, but at the end of the day,
I think they're going under the radar a little bit as well. They're impressive in the last Champions League performances.
Yes.
But their dip in the league, I think, is making people dismiss them too quickly. Again, we're looking at the draw and thinking, you know, what's going to happen. But Tottenham, they're usually defensively they're very, very good. And then they've got 1 or 2 players, haven't they? With I think Ali will be coming back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ericsson, Kane scoring the goals for them. So it would be interested to look at the likes of Barcelona and Juventus and if they got drawn against Tottenham, what they would actually be thinking. I don't think they would be comfortable.
Listen, we never know what's going on completely behind closed doors, but with the likelihood, there's no vacancy at Real Madrid now. There's no vacancy, it would appear. It'd be astonishing if there was a vacancy at Old Trafford next season.
It won't be.
Will that settle things down at Tottenham, both just in terms of the supporters, possibly the manager himself, and certainly the board, as in, realistically? I mean...
No, but it's true. Exactly that what he said. I think that as happy the Real Madrid supporters they were when Zidane came back, it's as happy the Tottenham supporters when Zidane went back to Real Madrid. It's the same happiness because now, if Mauricio Pochettino, the chance to go to one team that maybe it will be ahead, now it's going to be different.
We're always trying to look at situations, aren't we? He just seems a little bit grumpy at the moment.
It's the form.
No, but it's bias. It's bias.
Well, because I'm biased. I would hope that they stay grumpy till the end of the season, but...
Tell me, Nigel, you touched on it. You said perhaps they're not getting the credit they deserve. The points they've dropped recently, City dropped points recently as well. Interesting question here. Is it timing or is fatigue a factor with Tottenham's current form?
Well, I think a lot of people were thinking, with all the players out at World Cup, that the problem would be at the start of the season, because they put them, if I remember rightly, they put them all back in straight away. My gut feeling would say it would come towards the end of the season, because you're on...
You're running on empty?
No, the England players would have been disappointment, but also on a high with the way that they performed. So I think that just that momentum then takes you through. We've seen Kane have late pick up couple of injuries, and then they've had a couple of difficult results. Does that then sort of, as a player, it just makes you drop a little bit? They've got to get that belief back very, very quickly.
Are they right on the tipping point at the moment? Spurs could still have an absolutely fantastic season. I mean, let's be honest, if they make the top 4, given the restrictions that they've had on their budget, no players coming in, and previous, that's an incredible achievement. And also, if they move into the new stadium and could go further in the Champions League, that's a terrific season. But what would no top 4 and nothing more in the Champions League? What sort of season is that?
That's the problem. That's the problem, is moving into the new stadium. I think 99% of the Spurs fans, they were sure that they would be in the Champions League next year. And now, because of the position of the league and the opportunity in the Champions League, that changed a little bit the objective. And that's something that they need to manage inside,
and
you know?
And also, sorry, what will be interesting is that with Arsenal, they were told when they went to the new stadium that was to compete with the big boys, to get them more investment.
Didn't materialise.
And it hasn't materialised. The investment looks like it shrank a bit. So the Tottenham with going into the new stadium is going to be fascinating.
Well,